All right, we brought in the big guns this morning. So many of us we know move to the Suncoast to be closer to the water. So while our beaches can be very relaxing, there are lots of great ways to stay active on the Suncoast. One of the newest and most daring ways to soar above the waves is on a lift Efoil board. Dustin Johnson and Seth Hayek are the instructors and owners of Sarasota Efoil, and they're here to tell us more. And you brought a board.
Yes, we did.
I'm so glad you did, because I have so many questions.
Yes.
So let's do some definitions first. What is Efoil? What does that mean?
Efoil is just an electronic foil board. So it's powered by a battery, and you have a handheld controller, which is your throttle, and it lifts you out of the water and you fly above it like a magic carpet.
So
okay,
the
that's so
controller
cool.
is it Bluetooth
It's
technology?
a Bluetooth, yeah, Bluetooth controller, yeah.
That's insane.
So I'm going to hold the controller in my hand, and then the board is going to take off and do what you see there, and the propeller is then keeping me moving?
Correct.
Yes, keeping you moving. Yep.
How hard is it to do? What kind of balance do I need? What kind of core strength do I need?
This is honestly, it's so much easier than people think. And you know, you're looking at it and you're like, oh, people get intimidated, but when they get on it, and the first time they get on it, they're like, wow, I can actually do this. And every single one of our students, every single one of them, by the time the lesson's over, they're foiling.
Now, many of us are familiar with standing on a regular paddle board because it's so popular. Is this harder than that as far as balance goes, or easier, about the same?
Well, I'm 6'5", so my center of gravity is kind of off. So I honestly cannot do a paddle board, but I can do this very easily.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, once we get going, we all know the water is not smooth here. So how does wind, wave, all of that impact our ride?
I can impact it a little bit. So we have different locations that we go out of. Of course, smoother the water, a little bit better. But once you rise above the waves, you don't feel anything at all. You're just going.
This is more like flying than surfing then.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. I'd rather fly than surf.
I saw in the videos that we saw the height goes up and down. Is that something you are able to control?
That's just with your weight adjustment. So if you lean a little bit more forward, you'll go down a little bit. You lean a little bit backwards, and you'll just kind of rise back up.
All right. So if this is something I want to do, I've got 4 teenage boys, right? And they're chomping at the bit. They're going to think this is the best thing they've ever seen. How does it work when we come out to see you? You mentioned lessons. I assume you have to teach us a little bit.
Yeah, so what we do is we'll have you go to the website, sarasotaefoil.com, and then what you'll do is you'll pick your time slot, you'll book, there's different options on there with the pricing, and then what we do is pretty much the day before, after looking at the weather to see the surf conditions and so on and so forth, we will pick the prime location for foiling for that day.
Got it.
So we want to make it as simple as possible and as smooth as possible. So we may go into the bay as opposed to out on the, the Gulf. So, and then what you'll do is you'll meet us. We'll have a tent there for you, ready to get ready. We'll give you a little bit of a lesson so we can get you foiling as quickly as possible. And then we'll take you out on the water. We have a little dock that we take out on the water, and we all sit on there, and then we take turns and go out, and you're going to learn to foil.
I love that you check the weather and you determine, so you could go out multiple times and maybe to a different spot depending on the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can operate 7 days a week, depending on weather.
All right.
For sure.
What made you bring this to Sarasota? What a cool concept.
Well, on the side I was a charter captain, and I was actually in the Caribbean, and I was sitting on the back of the boat, and this person went by, and I didn't see the board.
And you were like, oh, it's flying.
I thought something was wrong with me. And, she said good morning, and then after doing research, I found out what these were, and then we've been lifelong friends, and I was like, this is what we got to do.
I love it. Oh, I'm so glad it's here. Something new to do on the water. Listen, we are all about being active here on the Suncoast, and this is definitely a new great way to do it. For more information, to make reservations, and to find out how it all works, go to sarasotaefoil.com. Looks like